Hey, good morning. This is Greg here with the Hard Knock State, and I just want to say thank you for joining me on Morning Money Motivations. Hey, this show isn't about the stock market or stocks and bonds or Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. This is all about getting your head right about money before you get into work today, before you start engaging with your potential clients, your customers, those you're trying to do business with. Because it doesn't take very long for us as sales professionals to get rusty. In fact, if we're not in the right frame of mind every morning when we get into the office, we're just leaving everything for chance. So hopefully you've already thought about your day, wrote out your goals and your targets, and kind of identified what you need to get accomplished to be successful throughout the day. If you haven't, now's the time to start thinking about that, and hopefully this information will help. Now, Grant Cardone, if you don't know who he is, this material that I cover, this is Grant Cardone's material out of his 10x Sales Professional courses. And on well, Grant has been in business for, 35 plus years. And this is material that he's compiled over the years. He was smart enough and to record everything when he was first starting out into sales. And he's put it all into processes, and these are proven successful selling strategies. His sales team, they completely use this material. And Grant and his team also trains and coaches some of our world's Fortune 100 companies who are also tied in and training on this material as well. We've been talking a lot about phones, and I'll tell you, it was getting good on the phones can mean the difference in paycheck. And so a lot of us feel good greeting the customer. We're good with fact finding and demonstrating our product and getting the customer to see a pricing proposal. However, when they don't make the decision to buy that day and they leave the store, we're awfully horrible at following up with them. We're horrible at picking up the phone and dialing and trying to get back in touch with those customers. The reality is 48% of salespeople never make one follow-up phone call. And a staggering statistic of something like 72% of those people who do make that follow-up phone call never make it past the third call. In reality, it's going to take 5 to 12 attempts to be able to uh, 5 to 12 contacts to be able to close that deal in most cases. But most of us don't have the persistence to see the follow up through until the customer closes. Now, on February 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going over Grant Cardone's phone sales mastery material, and I'm putting on a half day live virtual boot camp. It's a half day live virtual workshop, phone sales mastery. It's a free event, and you can get your ticket at thehardknockstate.com. And when you go to thehardknockstate.com, scroll right below the banner. It'll give you directions on how to get your free ticket. And I do also offer a $19.95 VIP upgrade. With the free ticket, you're going to get the free download PDF workbook. Um, for the phone sales mastery course, you're also going to get access to my Facebook um, private Facebook sales professional networking group. Upgrade again for only $19.95. You'll get 30 days of Revenue Rocket weekly sales group coaching. That alone is a $395 value, plus two of my classy contract closing pens. And these are a nice metal pen. They're weighted, so they got a nice feel to it. It's a fine tip ballpoint pen with stylus on the opposite end. So if you're closing on a touch screen or you're closing on contracting on a paper, you can seal the deal with a quality pen. So you get all that for $19.95. And I'll tell you, it was this material will make the difference between what you're selling now and what you truly want to sell or know what your true potential is. And again, most of us are good on the phone, but we're horrible with the follow-up phone call. It wasn't until I really grasped this concept and these strategies and grasped the idea that there's an actual process that should be followed on the phone and there's a process that should be followed on the different types of calls. But not only that, uh, realizing that there was a process face to face, and I was good face to face. I've been in sales roughly about 20 years. And I remember about 10 years ago, this one day in particular, I was walking into a sales meeting while looking at my paycheck. And I sat down and my face just turned bright red. I was horrified. I was thinking about my kids. I was thinking about how I was going to keep my lights on. I was thinking about how I was going to keep my job. And then I was being called out. I heard it just clear as clear as a bell, and I can remember it just like it was yesterday. I was being called out by the sales manager to tell the entire department how many sales I had out for the month, when realistically it was more like how many I didn't have out for the month. And so I was embarrassed, demotivated, and my performance for the rest of that weekend was absolutely shot. When I got home that night and I walked through the front door, my wife at the time had told me that our water had been turned off, and it was the one of the worst days ever. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, but it woke me up and realized that I was not even operating at close to my potential that I thought I was, and so I started investing in my sales training material, grant sales training material. And before you know it, I became a top producer in the store. And it wasn't long after that, I got promoted into sales management for the organization, where I was coaching and training other sales associates on how they could sell more, sell consistently, and earn more on each paycheck. But we've been talking a lot about phones, phone calls, polishing up our phone skills, learning how to master the phone. And again, it's so important. I want to talk to you a little bit about warm calls. Uh, these are people, and where do we start with warm calls? Okay, this is where you're not going to just rely. We've been talking a lot about relying on or working the inbound sales call, and a little bit about cold calling and reaching out to service customers and orphan customers. I want to talk to you about the warm call this morning, because if you're going into the office today and you don't have much going on, this is an area where you can dive in, and you can put the power bait on the hook, and you can reel in customers today and make it a successful day. And so this is working your power base. Okay, everybody's got a power base. Just everybody's got hundreds of contacts in their cell phones, if not thousands, and those are that's pretty much your power base, right? That's where it starts, I should say. So we want to go through, and we're talking about friends, family, past coworkers. The first thing we need to do with the power base is we need to activate it. And so here's how it works. Number one, create your power base list. So go through your phones, go through your contacts, build and file this on a notepad, and then organize it, put it into your CRM, into your system, and label it in your CRM as my power base. That way you'll always be there in the folder when you need it. Number three, make the call. The purpose of calling these people, remember, these are friends, they're family, they're former coworkers, extended family, people you do business with, people you've done business with, associates, acquaintances. Okay. And so now the third step, after we've made that list and we filed that list, now we're going to call the people on the list. And by calling them, our intention here is not to sell them anything, but our intention is to reconnect with them and re-energize and activate our relationship with them. It contains immense potential when you do this. The fact that you haven't spoken to these people in months or weeks or years, even a decade or so, doesn't even matter. Don't worry that you haven't talked to them in a while. Don't try to replace this call with an email or a text message or a letter. Okay. The intention of this call is simply to catch up. So let's talk about what this call to our power should look like. Here's an example of your power base. Let's say you're calling out to Jay, and hey, Jay, this is Greg here. Hey, I had you on my mind, and I just wanted to catch up. It's been forever since we've talked, and am I getting you at a bad time? hey, you're going to ask their permission if it's okay. You don't know if you're calling them out of the blue. You don't, and these are people you don't know if you're uh, catching them in the middle of something or not. So, hey, when they say yes, just say, hey, I have a few minutes. If they say, yeah, I got a few minutes, what's going on? Answer with, great. Hey, I just wanted to call and catch up. Been thinking about you. What have you been doing lately? And just a normal conversation, right? Now, this is where you're going to start qualifying this person, where he or she is at in their life cycle, if you will, if where they're at in any kind of buying cycles, right? What are they doing now? How are things going? And then ask them, talk to them about them, right? Ask them again about their family, small talk, right? And then transition into the third part, which is, hey, I don't want to take up your time, but I'd love to sit down and grab some coffee or a bite to eat with you. When would you be available? What time would work for you on that? Hey, the goal is to get back to remember, this isn't to sell anybody anything. It's to reactivate your relationship with these people and get back in front of them. It's simply, your goal is simply to get out of obscurity and get their attention. Yeah, maybe you get lucky and maybe they'll just buy your product just from asking what you do. But more than likely, it's going to help you expand your power base and bring some business to you in the future. Okay. After the call, write out a handwritten note or follow it up with an email or a text message and let them know, hey, you really appreciate talking to them. You can't wait to meet with them for coffee or a sandwich. Number three type of power base would be like, say, service customers. Let's say you bring a watch in for repair, and the salesperson sees you as a new band buyer rather than a watch buyer. Okay, but how did I get that watch? At some point in time, I was a buyer for the watch, and I'll be a buyer again. How about the customer calling back the bank and saying, I can't access my account online, or I'm locked out of my account? uh, that that person's a prospect for other bank products, maybe a savings account, maybe some other type of investment, maybe a mortgage, maybe an auto loan. So, but nobody ever really thinks about that. And so, what we want to do is we want to get our thinking outside of our box, right? We want to expand our thinking on how we can maximize every opportunity. People who are servicing your products that you sell, they're close to your product and loyal to your company typically. These people are having service problems and questions about their product, right? They're not cold, they're not warm, they're hot. All problems are opportunities to solve and create new clients. And a lot of salespeople have the belief that they don't want to talk with people who have issues with their product or need repair because they think they're going to run into more problems. Okay. No, we can't think that way. We can't shy away from calling back the people who are servicing their products with us, or people we've done business with, because we're fearful that there's going to be a problem that arises. We need to drill it into our head that those problems are opportunities for us to do business again. Okay. Money simply follow. Money simply follows solution. Here's how you can work this. Okay. Each day, see if you can talk to the service manager or service writer and see if you can get a history of every service invoice or repair that came through your service department the previous day. And let's walk through what that type of call would sound like. Let's take the guy who came in to change the band on his watch, or for example, it could be anything, but let's use that guy. Let's say I'm going to intercept this guy first. He comes in and says, hey, I'm looking to replace my watch band. You say, hey, I'd be happy to help you with that. Let me show you the choices we have in the new watch bands, and then and then suggest three or four of them, right? So now you're satisfying their need for the information they're looking for, right? Watch how we're going to do this. Okay. We're servicing the customer by replacing the watch band. I might not even get paid on that band, or you may not even, this person, it's such a small dollar amount, there may not be any of a commission there. But you're being of a service to the customer. Be positive, and then possibly start qualifying them for their next watch purchase. And so here's how we're going to do that. Hey, are you all set with that new band? Great. Let me ask you a question. Next time you buy a watch, will you go new or will you go pre-owned? Will you go sport, classic, or dress? Do you have you had your eye on something lately? Okay. Remember, there's a next time for everyone. You could do the same thing on a call. You pick up the phone, and the guy who came in for his watch band, you say, "Hey, Rick, this is Greg over here at so and so Jewelers. I saw you. You came in for a watch band the other day, and I helped you with the replacement. I just wanted to follow up to make sure that that band was living up to your satisfaction." And they'll say, "Yeah, Greg, everything's fine. Fantastic. I love to hear that. While I have you on the phone, may I ask you a quick question? The next time you buy a watch, would you consider going new or pre-owned? Because we often get some great items coming in our certified inventory, and I'd be happy to keep an eye out for something that you might be interested in." For the right watch, I might consider pre-owned. Okay, great. Would that be what kind of watch would that be? Would it be a sport watch? Would it be a classic watch? More of a dressy style watch? Are you looking for any particular type of bands on that watch? And they say, "Hey, yeah, I like the classic stuff." Well, wonderful. We actually have some lovely pieces coming in later this month. Give me your cell phone number and I could text you some photos when they come in. See, this is all about being of a service to the customer. Being of a service gets you out of obscurity, gets you attention, and gives you reasons to get back in front of these customers, okay, and these clients. And capture, while you're talking to them, try to capture other pertinent data and possibly to make another immediate sale if you can. Now, let's talk about reactivating our sold customers. These are past customers who you've sold and you haven't been in contact with in a while. Okay. You're making life hard by not following up with these people. As a sales professional, our idea when we first get into our sales career, if we're looking at this for any length of time, is we want to develop a book of business and we want to constantly work that book of business. And so by not following up with your customers, you are making your job so much harder. The goal here is to make 10 calls to your sold customers every day. Try to make 10 calls a day, people that bought with you within the last 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years ago, however long you've been there. The purpose of this call is not to get out of obscurity because they already know who you are. The purpose of this call is to remind them that you're there for them. Remind them that you're there to serve their needs. Hey, they bought from you now. Remember I told you I wasn't just going to take care of you during the sale. I was going to take care of you after the sale. And so that's how I just want to see if there's anything I could do to take care of you. And number three, we want all information. We want to update any new email addresses, if they've got a new cell phone number, text message, any social media handles out there, anything and everything they're living, what's happening, what they're doing, anything you can get, what their hobbies are, what their interests are. Capture all this and keep it updated. That way you'll have great conversation pieces in the future. Number four is we want to find out where these sold customers are in their own buying cycle. And we then, once we determine that, and let's say their buying cycle is kind of immediate, hey, gosh, we love that Toyota Corolla, but wouldn't you know it, my 17-year-old daughter wrapped it around a telephone pole. Thank God she's okay, but we're going to need a replacement car. So if you can flip them right then and there, hey, do it, right? Number six is we want to get referrals if possible. Okay. They were happy with you as a sales professional the first time when they bought the car. They'll be happy giving you a referral. The reality is most customers say they would give a referral to the salesperson, but the salesperson just fails to ask for it. So these calls shouldn't take an hour or even 30 minutes. You can hammer these calls out in 10 or 20 minutes. And before every call is over, tell the client when the next time you'll be contacting them is. Hey, it's been 6 months now since you made that purchase with us. Hey, I'll reach out to you next quarter. I'll reach out to you in 90 days and try to touch basis and see if there's anything I can help you with then. And of course, if they're you need anything, you have all my contact information and so on. So uh, on February 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm putting on my phone sales mastery workshop. This is Grant Cardone's proven phone selling strategies. His phone sales mastery 10x sales professional course will change the way you work deals over the phone. It will build confidence in you once you get this knowledge to be able to go back and confidently pick up the phone, dial, and start making calls and following up with customers, not only sold customers, but the unsold customers. The people who have reached out to your store, your showroom, or your office looking for more information on a product or service. Hopefully, that's going to fill their needs. We've been talking a lot about phones over the past week, and this Saturday at 10 a.m., this Saturday, February 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Go to it's a free event. Again, it's going to be a very intensive workshop. There's going to be a ton of information, and you'll get a free digital download, 10x Sales Professional Study at Home or Follow Along and Study at Home workbook, plus access to a private sales professional networking group, all for free. If you want to upgrade for only $19.95, you'll also get 30 days of Revenue Rocket weekly group coaching. That's a $395 value, plus 2 of my classy contract closing pens. These are nice metal fine tip ballpoint pens, and you'll get a 2-pack of those all for $19.95. So when we're talking to sold customers, let's walk through this here. Hey, Pete, remember me? Greg Nelson. Hey, you bought for me about 3 months ago. Look, I've been thinking about you. Do you got a minute? Once you get their permission, you want to thank them again for doing business with you. I just want to check in and see how things are going. And now's the time to start setting up a personal contact. Confirm that you have all the correct contact information. And if you aren't able to make a personal contact today because they're out of the area, look to add the contact for the future. Be creative with this. Then you want to move into transition. Hey, let me ask, is the company considering any other products or services at this time? Is there any needs that you have that need to be filled? Is there any problems I can handle? These are a bunch of different questions you can ask. The goal is to transition to information collect and then try to set up a personal visit. If your client is on a contract right now, let's say they're on a lease or some kind of installment payment, you may want to find a creative way to be able to push them up in their cycle. Like, hey, we have a special program in place right now where we can take you out of your current product. We can put you in the exact same brand new model product, keeping your payments the same without any money out of your pocket. You wouldn't want a brand new one for the same amount, for the same monthly payment, and then just move forward from there. Now let's talk about referrals. This client has purchased from you. Okay, they're happy with you. Okay, maybe they've scheduled some servicing with you in the future. Don't wait until you see them again. Just ask them for the referral. Hey, Pete, let me ask, who do you know, either in your family or at your work, maybe a coworker, who do you know that might be in the market for a product such as this? And then take advantage of it and set fear aside. We're trying to Are we trying to stay small here, or are we trying to go big? I say go big. Get that pipeline so big, so full, so fat, and overflowing with opportunities. Uh, that's the main goal here is we want to get our pipeline overflowing with opportunities, because when we get no showed when we set an appointment, and then we get hurt, our feelings get hurt when they don't show up. The only reason that happens is because your pipeline's not full enough. You don't have multiple opportunities spilling over that pipeline. And if you had 3 appointments at 4:15 in the afternoon today, I guarantee if one of them didn't show up, it would be more of a relief, because then you would be able to properly handle your other clients' needs. So just kind of just keep that in your mind there. The more you want your pipeline, you want your CRM literally busting at the seams. Okay, converting the unsold. Okay, go through all the people that you've worked and you have and that you have not sold. Okay, we talked about making that list from our power base. Let's talk about making a list from the people we haven't sold yet. These are opportunities that kind of fell by the wayside. They inquired about a stove. They inquired about a refrigerator. They inquired about a leather sectional or a bedroom set. Okay. And we tried to touch bases with them 3 or 4 times, but it just, the communication line flatlined. And so we weren't able to really find a need for their problem. But that doesn't mean that we waste that lead and kill it. Okay. We want to keep that lead. We want to reactivate that, because their life maybe just got busy, and maybe they still need to solve that problem. Maybe they still need to get the new couch, but they got tied up with after school activities with the kids. They got tied up with work and so on. So reactivate these people. Okay. Don't be afraid to reach back out to them and just say, hey, this is Greg with ABC Furniture. Hey, you inquired about a leather sectional about 90 days ago. I just wanted to reach out to you. I want to see, did you ever follow through and make that purchase? Or are you still in the market for a new couch or a new sectional? You could be very, very surprised. And when you're calling the unsold, don't expect it to be warm and a fuzzy reception from these people. Okay, you haven't been in contact with these people in a long time. The truth is, they probably don't even know who you are anymore. You've sent them an email, you sent them a text message, you left them a voicemail, and that's all you did, and that was 90 days ago. Okay, so here's the call. Hey, I worked with you about 3 months ago. You might remember on that project we with it. I'm calling to see if you ever did anything. Is this a good time? And sure, I can talk, they would say. And yeah, I did do something. Hey, great. How's it performing? What did you end up getting? Did you like it? Are you happy with it? That you decided to go with it? Pay attention to this call, okay? We want to be happy, and we want to be excited that they bought something. We don't want to be Oscar the Grouch here, be happy for these people. Then you can go into servicing them. Hey, is there anything, even though you didn't buy it from us, is there anything I could do to help you with that purchase? I don't care if bought it from Frank's Furniture 4 blocks down the street, because we all know Frank's reputation, right? You say, hey, look, is there anything I could do to complement that piece of furniture you bought? Now, are you in the market for any end tables, maybe a nice coffee table or some lamps? We've got a great selection right now, and we really put out or sell a quality product. And then just have your regular communication with them and see if you can get them back in to take a look at some accessory pieces to furniture, that couch they purchased, right? And so that's really important. The fact is here is we don't want to forget about these people completely. Okay, we made the mistake of letting it go this far without any type of communication. Be happy, be cheerful. Hey, look, you've got nothing to lose here and everything to gain. So make the phone call and just reactivate these people. You'll be amazed. Maybe people, when they first inquired about that couch or that spa or that refrigerator or the automobile, maybe when they first inquired about it, they were just starting their research process, and now they're at the tail end and ready to make their purchase. So you never know, your timing could be right here, but this is just in case you've let time go from their original inquiry. And I'm going to teach you a lot more about these calls, how to make these calls, the script these calls, just as we've been going over this morning. And we're going to get all this information to you. It's quality information. You're going to be able to leave the half day workshop on Saturday at February 11th. Like a phone master. You're going to be able to go back into your office, your store, or your showroom. You're going to be able to pick up that phone without fear. You're going to have all the confidence in the world because you're going to know exactly what to say. When the phone rings and you go to dive to answer it, and you get the customer on the line, and you're going to know exactly how to identify the exact problem they're trying to solve. You're going to be able to offer multiple solutions that you have that will meet their needs. You're going to be able to control that call for them to give you their information and schedule an appointment with you. And also, you're going to be able to learn how to get the appointment to confirm and lock in their own appointment, which will increase your appointment show rate, which will increase your closing ratio, which in turn will increase your overall paycheck. And remember, the goal here is to get everybody to sell 3 to 6 more units per month. Because if we could do that, everybody, no matter how much product you're selling now or how little you're selling now, if everybody could just sell 3 to 6 more units per month, it'll be a complete lifestyle change for everybody. When 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck and 47% don't have $400 saved for an emergency fund, knowing these skills and being able to not only be the best salesperson you could be face to face, but knowing the other half of it, which is working the phones. Now, getting great at working the phones will make the difference in your career. You'll Once you become a master and you get the confidence of actually working the phones and understanding all the different ways you can reach out to them via a phone. You can do a text message, you can do a voice call, you could do a video, and you can just keep it going from there. The phone today is still your most powerful tool that you have in your workshop, in the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. And we're going to get you to know how to hone in those skills to where you could be more effective, sell more, sell consistently, and earn more on each sale. So that's this Saturday, February 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's free. Go to thehardknockstate.com and you'll see directions right below the banner on how to access your free ticket. You're going to get a free follow along and study at home, downloadable 10x Sales Professional Phone Sales Mastery Workbook. You'll also get free access to my Facebook private sales professional networking group. And if you upgrade for only $19.95, you'll also get 30 days of my Revenue Rocket weekly group coaching. That's 4 individual 45-minute sessions, 1 session per week. And 2 of my Class E contract closing pens. These are a nice metal fine tip ballpoint pen with stylus. And closing with a good quality pen always leaves a lasting impression. But you get all of that for $19.95, or just go with the free option. And I'll love to see you there. I'd love to help you get better on the phone so you can make more money and you can know that you can have a successful life through a rewarding career in sales. Again, that's